and you're all friends. Some I haven't met yet, some I have. Nice to meet you all. I have a group, it's called Change the World with Kindness. Just a little quick background. My group started 6 years ago. Side note, Lola and I are good friends. I did not know anything about all of you until about, a week ago-ish? But also on the flip side of that, Lola didn't know that I've had this group of 5,000 members for 6 years either. So it's kind of a nice surprise for all of us and for her. Everything that I do in my life, whether it's my Facebook page or my career or just life in general, is about making life better for myself, for you. We live in a political climate right now that is pretty volatile. I think we can all agree on that, yeah? I don't know how your pages are, but I know historically my page has been one, probably primarily because I am so much about kindness and doing good. It's kind of like it's got a big target on its back for all of the trolls to come in and have a field day. Oh yeah, you think you're kind? Well, you're not being nice to me because you won't let me promote my guns, or whatever. I get a lot of that. So anyway, what I found out was happening with me in particular, and as I taught, it's true, as I taught and other community leaders, and this is kind of a common theme, is that we spend a lot of time, like you said, herding cats, and we can get burned out. So let's talk a little bit about burnout and then how we can do some self-care to make things better for ourselves and then for our groups as well. So first of all, what happens when we don't practice self-care? We get burned out. Exhaustion. I'm going to touch on exhaustion for a second because I don't know about you guys. I have a career where I work 60 plus hours a week. I think a lot of us have jobs, part-time, full-time, what have you. One of my running themes throughout my life has always been, I can function just fine on 5 hours of sleep. Who said it besides me? I can function. Well, okay, so you can function, but you can thrive on 7 or 8 hours of sleep, or even more if you need it. And why function when you can thrive? So I've made getting a full night's sleep a priority, and I strongly suggest that you figure out a way to do it too. I am a mom of 5. Like I said, I also work 60 plus hours a week. If I can do it, I promise you can do it too. And if you need help figuring out how, let's chat afterwards. Okay, so exhaustion. When you don't practice self-care, you also can end up by having a lot of self-doubt. How many of you have had controversy in your groups where you thought, man, did I do the right thing? I nipped that in the bud. Maybe I should have let them speak. I've had to do that. Have any of you had to do that too? Yeah, so that happens when we're not practicing self-care because we really do start doubting ourselves. Your health is going to suffer, no doubt about it. Anxiety, colds, flus, what have you. When you're feeling down, your body's going to come under attack. I promise you that. And here's another one. It's a really big thing. When you're not taking care of yourself, you risk burning out your mods. They need to know that they're appreciated. And if you're so exhausted and so frustrated with your group that you're not able to reach out to your mods and say, hey man, I really appreciate what you're doing, they're going to leave. I mean, who has high turnover? It happens, right? I don't, because I'm the only one in my group who mods, but I'm just saying, I have friends who've had, it's been like a recurring theme. Mods coming in and mods going, and mods trying to call the shots themselves and not really adhering to the agenda that you set. But anyway, so there's a whole litany of things that we could talk about. Normally I do like a 6-week seminar on this, and I'm trying to condense it to 3 minutes, and I feel like I've already not done 3 minutes, so I apologize. We'll do it real fast. If we could go to the next slide, we'll just talk about some tips. Before we do that, though, I have this bag here, and I'm going to pass this around. These have rocks in them. I call them You Rock Rocks, and I want everybody to take one. You can keep it yourself.
Do you need help?
Somebody. You just pass it around. They can just pass it on and move on. I have one that I keep with me all the time. It says, you guys can't see it, it says, I heart me. I love myself. And I keep it in my bag or in my pocket or whatever, but I have it with me all the time. I don't make a big deal out of it, but this is really what I would call a gratitude rock. And I feel that everything that you do when it comes to self-care starts with gratitude. It doesn't mean that you have to, I hear fake it till you make it a lot. Not necessarily so. Think about something that you're genuinely grateful for, no matter where you're at in life. Me personally, I might be having a really crappy morning, and I've got to reach in my bag for $1 for something, and I touched my rock. Oh, okay. And I'll stop and think, okay, what am I grateful for right in this moment? And then I just think on that for a moment, put it back, and move on with my day. take one. They all have different little sayings on them. Some of them have. Oh, yeah.
What is HYGGE?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, have any of you heard of this word, HYGGE?
Yes.
Yes. What did you hear?
Oh God, I just read this. It was so cool.
I'll say the word. The word is hug. It's a Danish word that comes from a Norwegian word, hig. And basically it's about contentment and well-being. So think about your hug. It can be a way of life. It can be treating yourself to something that you don't normally treat yourself to. But it's not really about money. It's about just placing value on where you're at right now in life. So anyway, that's what that one says. There's another one that has a Chinese symbol for prosperity. That's good. It's not F-U.
Are you serious?
It's actually food. So that's the one. It is not F-U. So sorry. Anyway, moving on. Here is a very short list. I've got a couple of pages, I think, of some good self-care tips. First of all, cut yourself some slack. We are so hard on ourselves. We're hard on each other. Just trust that you're doing the very best you can where you're at right here, right now, and be okay with that. Learn to say no. I have a history of being a yes girl, and it has been a long process learning how to say no. So get comfortable with saying no. And piggybacking onto that, only promise what you can reasonably deliver. I also, again, piggybacking onto the yes thing, I'm your girl, you need this done? I got you. Got that? I'll do that too. Don't be that person, because you're setting yourself up for burnout when you do that. And you don't need it. And you are going to be better for yourself, for your group, for your admins, if you just learn to say no. You're only one person. Here's another one. I know I'm asking a lot, but make a point, Lola. Heels away from the computer and your phone.
I can't promise anything.
So, touching back on our friendship, this is why when Dennis is working, I grab Lola and say, we're going out to lunch and you're not taking your phone. And I will do that for her because she needs that. She's got a massive group that will take her all the time if they can. Luckily, most of the time, she's got her wonderful husband who tells her, Lola, it's time.
Yeah.
You can't bring your laptop to bed.
Yep. Yes. It literally took it. It runs off with it. Yep.
Exactly. So,
I might have bleeding the cable.
Yes.
I need to do anything.
A lot.
yes. Exactly.
Thank you.
So, anyway, let's make a point to eat your meals away from the computer. It's only 30 minutes. You can do it, and there's no fire in your group that can't be put out after you come back.
Yeah.
And if you take that time for yourself, you will be better for your group when you return, I promise.
Thank you.
I think do I have one more slide or no? Oh, there it is, yes. And pay attention to your needs. If you can't tell yourself to take a breather, trust someone else, like Dennis, to be that person in your life. And if you don't have a spouse or a sibling, find a friend, a long trusted friend that you know you can count on to say, hey, you know what? You need to take a break. Let's just take a day and go out and just go for a walk and enjoy ourselves. You need that. And again, I just keep repeating myself. The more you do that for yourself, the better you're going to be for your group, I promise. Which is exactly what I got here. You know, find your long-term inner core friend or two to safely vent to. We all have our days. You can't just keep it all in here. You have to get it out. You gotta have somebody, like you were talking about, having your one-on-one, Darius, that person that's you've got somebody that you can bounce your ideas off of, and who they'll listen to you without judgment and maybe offer you some wisdom that you didn't see on your own. So that's what that friend is all about. Last but not least, congratulate yourself. You are a badass. I heart me. I hope you guys love yourselves too. We could talk for days about self-care. In fact, I'll tell you one more thing and then I'm done. I had pared this down, I thought, to 3 minutes, and then Lola informed me this morning that I actually had pared it down to
9 years.
22 minutes.
So
I think if I got it down
we had to go further
good.
down.
So I could talk a whole lot more about this, but I will pass it back over
She has
to
a lot of great. She has a lot of great content.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
She pared it down to 10.